What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for this really quick video. And for the last time this year, let's talk about RNG. This one here is just a barbershop talk only. We all know that the game is pretty much over. It's been 2 seasons that there's no gameplay update, so I'll just share my opinion about it. But of course, there's still a lot of insights that I will share here that you guys can use moving forward. I just think that as a community, we really need to know what RNG really means and all the issues surrounding it, because I think it's a term that will be used at least for the next couple of years. And by the way, this topic here is kind of sensitive. I mean, if you just watch a small part, you might lose the whole context. So I really advise to watch the video fully. And please like the video so it can reach more players. So let's get right into it. So there's a lot of ways to tackle this topic, but what I'll do is I will list all the misconceptions about RNG, then I'll take it from there. But before we go right into it, first, let's talk about what is the meaning of RNG. So according to this, RNG stands for Random Number Generator. It's a computational algorithm used in gaming industry to generate random and unpredictable numbers. So basically, it's just a part of the programming that generates how random things will be. There's more to it in relation to NBA 2K, which we'll talk about later. But first, let's talk about the misconceptions. Now for the first one, some players have the impression that RNG is like a slot machine, as if it's 100% totally random. And that is not correct. In terms of shooting, if you're on normal risk, the closer your shot input is to the green window and the higher your 3-point rating is, the more chance of making the shot. The game will still base the randomness into some factors. It'll be based on your ratings, your shooting profile, the shot input you did, the defense, and some other stuff. So it's not totally random. And the thing is, that player invested on that 3-point rating. Maybe he gave up some speed or some dunking ability just to have that 3-point rating high enough so he can get enough RNG help. He gave up some stuff. And on top of that, since that player chose normal risk instead of high risk, there could be some shots that could have been green, but since RNG turned him down, then it became a miss. Just want to make it clear, I'm not saying that RNG is good, I'm just saying that it's not like a slot machine or dice. It is not pure luck. Because I've read a lot of complaints about it that as if making a white is just pure luck. Now for the next misconception, some players think that RNG and randomness are 100% the same things. Yes, they're really connected, but not all the time. All RNG things can be considered randomness, but not all randomness can be considered RNG. When you say RNG, this is something like a series of codes embedded to a program or a game, so it's more of like a programming stuff. And when you say randomness, that's a general term for something random. It's not necessarily related to the programming of the game. This could be even external. Your latency fluctuation is random, but that's not RNG. The inaccuracies of your controller is random as well, but you can't call that RNG. So try not to say that RNG and randomness are the same things. Now for the next misconception, some players think that RNG is something new on 2K. That's not correct because every 2K has RNG. It just happened that on 2K24, they introduced green or miss system, which takes away RNG on jump shots. Then this year, they reversed it, they let whites go in again, and the first popular word that was tied to the return of whites is the term RNG. And it leaves an impression that RNG is something new to the game. To be honest, probably around 99% of modern video games use RNG. It's not new. So before we proceed, I know some of you might be thinking, shoots, what's the big deal? Like, why should we be so specific on what RNG means? It doesn't matter. I respect your opinion, but I really think it matters. As a community, it's much better to know what the real meaning of some terminologies. So if we talk to each other or even when we make feedbacks as a community, then we can voice out much better. Especially with this RNG thing, I know it's going to be thrown around in every discussions, at least for the next couple of years. Right now, it's getting out of hand. Like this one here just commented RNG out of nowhere. The video is not even related to RNG. And this one here said my blacktop testing is invalid because of RNG. Even my test doesn't really factor in RNG. And this one here invalidates all the tests just because there's RNG in the game. It's getting out of hand. So I really believe videos like this is really important. Now going back for the next misconception, since players feel a lot of randomness in the game, which could result to fluctuations of wins and losses, some players feel that there's this special algorithm going on that the game forces them to lose a game if they won the previous one. Like the game is tracking all the things that you do and messes up your game intentionally, just because. I don't think that is true. I'll show you these. In here you can see, this is 2K24 with default sliders. And you can see there, those passes are consistently clean. Of course, there's still some RNG into it, but it's not much. Common complaint this year is that even passes aren't accurate. It's not as accurate as this one. So what if I tell you that just by adjusting some sliders, I can put randomness into this, like I can make this 2K24 game act like the current 2K25. And here you can see, first pass was so clean. Second pass is kind of worse. Then the next one is a disaster. Let's take it back one more year. After adjusting the sliders, that's how it looks like. So what I'm trying to say here is that I can even make the previous 2Ks act like 2K25, which has more randomness. So that's why I don't think there's some special stuff going on. I think 2K just adjusted some sliders, which affects the RNG of the game. Just want to make it clear, I'm not saying that RNG is good. I even believe that they need to tone it down for a bit. The only thing that I'm trying to point out here is that there's no special algorithm or some sneaky stuff going on. I've read some comments saying that the game intentionally make your game bad just because you played good on the previous one, or the game forces you to lose as if you're the main character, or stuff like everything is scripted, like the game chooses who wins based on the previous matches. Trust me, I've read a lot of stuff like that. In my opinion, that's not happening. I think what happened is it's either 2K increased the RNG for a bit, or they made stats less impactful, which can cause more randomness. Because for those of you who don't know, the general rule is the higher your ratings, the more accurate the animations will be. Just like on my test, I reduced the impact of pass accuracy on that one, so the moment I toned it down, even with the same ratings, the randomness got up. So that's all for this one. I really appreciate that if you reach this point. And again, please like the video so it can reach more viewers. I believe this one here will be one of my best videos this year, so it would be really awesome if more players can watch it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.